Greetings, greetings, and greetings. Welcome to part two of So You Want to Be a Professional Speaker. I recorded part one recently, very recently, such as earlier today. And I thought I was going to hold off and do part two later, like maybe much later. But something was in my spirit and just said, I got to give y'all part two. And from the top, let me say this. This is not a seminar. It has no objectivity in it whatsoever. This is subjective. It's my story. I'm not going to do any seminars. I said that in the first part that that's just not something I'm going to do. But I do want to share some nuggets. I do want to share some wisdom. I've been in this business 38 years as a professional speaker. I've been a national speaker for 13 years. I've picked up a lot of information, a lot of experience, a lot of wisdom, and I just want to spend a little time sharing it with you. Again, it's not a seminar, so I'm not giving you all those objective facts and things that you need to do in that context. But I am giving you a lot of subjectivity. I'm giving you what I do. So I'm sharing that with you. I'm not even giving that all to you because I would need more time. I'm giving you a part two. We'll see how long it is, and I'll probably give you a part three at a later date. So with that said, let's get going. I got an outline here in front of me, and I got 10 components here, 10 parts here that I want to share with you. In the first one, I'm saying to you, if you're going to speak, the objective is to speak. Once again, if you're going to speak, the objective is to speak. What am I saying? I'm saying if you're going to speak, if you're going to call yourself a speaker, if this is what you want to do, then you have to wake up in the morning and go somewhere and speak. Of course, you'll have days off, but for the most part, for a large part of your year, it's got to be on the road speaking somewhere. Because if you want to speak, then that's what speakers do. They speak. It's not just calling yourself a speaker. It's living the speaker life. So it's speaking to audiences, and hopefully you're striving to be a national speaker, if not an international speaker. So you're speaking to audiences all over the place. So you're doing a lot of flying, you're staying in a lot of hotels, you're driving a lot of rental cars and all that kind of thing. But the bottom line is if you're going to speak, your objective must be to speak. So you're going to put forth all the effort that's necessary in order to create a demand for you, a buzz for you, that your phone rings off the hook, that the emails are flying in every day with people inviting you to speak. Because again, if you're going to speak, the objective must be to speak. You can't call yourself a speaker, but your calendar's empty. You can't call yourself a speaker, but you rarely speak. If you're going to call yourself a speaker, then you got to speak. So if you're going to speak, your objective is to speak. So keep that in mind throughout the rest of this video. Secondly, talk about what you know. So as you're growing your speaking business, whether you be new to this, an aspiring speaker, or you've been in it, but you're not where you want to be, I'm saying to you, and I'm saying it to you strongly, talk about things you know because it's so easy. Speakers make good money, particularly when you do it at a high level. And it's so easy to get caught up into the money that you're chasing money instead of putting the work first. The work's always got to be first. When you if you ever find yourself placing the money as the priority, like I got to make this money, I got to make this money, I got to make this money, then you'll probably never maximize your talent. You'll probably never maximize your potential because you're doing this for the wrong reasons. See, we speak because we're providing an audience or people with information, with knowledge, with inspiration, we're empowerment, right? We're doing all those things. And so that's our role, that's our work, that's our duty. But if you're waking up in the morning, man, I gotta make this money, or I can't wait to make this money, you're gonna make money. That's coming. But first and foremost is the work. And that's where the focus has got to be. It's got to be on the work. But if, on the other hand, you lose that focus, then it's going to be hard for you to put maximum effort into building and developing and cultivating your craft of oratory, your craft of speaking. You want to strive to be great, phenomenal, extraordinary, amazing at what you do, but you got to pour into yourself. So, with that, I'm saying that you can't just go out there and just talk about anything because you don't know everything. Nobody does. And someone could call you because they've heard you, they've watched your video or whatever, and they like you, they think you're good, so they throw a topic at you. Can you speak on this? And you don't know that. Well, you can't say yes to everything. I understand you may say, well, let me read about it real quick. Let me research it real quick, all that, so that I can do the presentation. But I gotta, I told you I'm subjective on this. I'm subjective on one and two. So here's some strong subjectivity coming at you. At the end of the day, you need to be able to speak on things that you have experienced, things you've done. See, when I go see a speaker, like I'm an education speaker, that's the space I'm in. I speak to principals, assistant principals, teachers, counselors. And if I'm in an audience, let's go back to when I was a principal, and I'm in an audience, and there's a speaker training us principals, on effective school leadership in some genre, some category of leadership. I can't hear this person if their bio doesn't indicate that they've done this work. I can't hear 'em. I'm working in some tough urban school environment, all sorts of urban challenges, which includes academic challenges that stem from community and home challenges. And now you're gonna come in here and tell me how to get this done, but you never experienced this? That urban leadership is not easy work. It's rewarding, it's fulfilling, but it's not easy because children are dealing with a lot of issues. Parents are dealing with a lot of issues. The community itself is dealing with issues. And now you're going to walk in there because you speak well. You have the gift of gab. You did a little reading on what we do. And now you're going to tell us how to lead our schools? Nah. If I don't hear in the bio that you not only led, but you led at a high level, I have no interest in hearing you. None whatsoever. I need to know that you know what it is to walk in my shoes and for a sustained period of time. I need to know that. So I'm saying, therefore, to you, talk about what you know. But if I can add to that, talk about what you've lived, talk about what you've experienced, because more than likely, that's going to your passion is going to shine through that because that's something that you know intimately. See, to go somewhere and try to read something real quick because somebody dangles some dollars in front of you, you may not be able to bring the knowledge that you need to bring, the passion that you need to bring, because you really don't know this topic the way you need to know it for that audience to be able to benefit from you and you thereby add value to their work. That's important. So I'll say to you, focus on whatever you decide your brand is going to be, whatever you decide your genre is going to be. Commit yourself to speaking on things that you know or things that you can learn that are consistent with what you know. It doesn't mean I don't want to imply you can't grow and evolve and expand. I don't want to give that impression at all. You can. But I'm talking about that young aspiring principal speaker, or that seasoned speaker that's trying to take their game to another level because you're not content with where you are right now. Start with the things you know and go hard in those particular areas, as opposed to accepting an engagement to speak about something that you really know nothing about. It's going to come across on that stage. And I'll tell you something else. When you're on that stage or you're on that platform where you're in the front of a room and it's detected by the audience that you really don't know this topic, oh, they're going to know. and they'll probably sit there text messaging each other about you. And not so much just laughing at you, even though that could occur, but also just the disgust that they have to sit and endure you, where it's obvious, it's evident that you really don't know what you're talking about. You really don't have deep knowledge of this particular subject area. That'll come across. So, my strong suggestion, once again, speak on what you know. Number three, your web design. Man, that's an important one. Your web design. I want to go in depth with this one. There are some bad websites out there. Some really bad websites out there. And I see them. I see them. I visit them. And I say to myself, wow, just wow. And if your website is, say, 5 to 10 years old, that's how long you've had it, 5 to 10 years, then it's probably time to upgrade. It's time for a new website because the world of websites keeps evolving. They keep getting nicer, they keep getting fancier, and you gotta keep up with the times because, see, here's the thing about a website. Your website is your representation. See, you're not going to be everywhere, but your website is everywhere because it's on the World Wide Web. It's on the internet. So anybody can access your website from anywhere on the planet if they have Wi-Fi and a device. So you can only be in one place at one time, but your website is your representative and it is every place at the same time. It's amazing for me when I'm speaking somewhere and someone posts a video on social media of some video I have, and they're watching my video, right? So I'm speaking in one state, but my video is being shown in another state, a different video, not a live of what I'm doing in the given state. And it's just an amazing thing when you think about the fact that in any given location, folks can be watching you. An audience can be watching a video that you recorded or a live that some keynotes you did that is now in video form, and then they're watching you all over the country, all over countries, all over the planet. That I find that to be just absolutely incredible, absolutely amazing that can occur. Well, here's the thing: they're watching those videos, and I'm going to assume if you allowed a video of you on a video platform such as YouTube, I'm going to assume that you ensure that your best stuff is on a platform, on a video platform such as YouTube, because that is your representative. So you're not going to put on some of your flawed work, right? Some of your worst moments or some bad moments and upload that to YouTube so that other people can watch it, right? You want your best stuff out there because that video is your representation. I've got hundreds of videos on YouTube and even Vimeo. There's some videos of me. I know definitively, unless I didn't upload it, if someone filmed me and they uploaded something that I can't control that and they got me in my worst moment, right? But if I uploaded the video, oh, I'm proud of that video. I have no videos on YouTube that I'm ashamed of, right? Nothing. It's all my good stuff because what I'm saying to you again, those videos are my representation. When I'm at sleep at night, I know that people are watching the videos because I look at the view counts, and I'll talk more about the view counts and data analysis overall in a little while. But for now, just know that that website is your representative, right? We're going to go back to the website now. So you've got to make sure that you've got a good website, an up-to-date website, an upgraded website, right? Not some old, ancient, archaic website. And then when people look at it, they're scratching their head like, what has he got this on? What's she got this website for? This is the web. This is what they were using back in the 90s. This is what they were using back in the 80s. This person needs to upgrade. This person needs a modern website to represent him or her and his or her work. That matters. So your website, It needs to be modern. But I'm gonna tell you something else. It needs to be mobile compatible. That's extremely important. I have seen websites that look beautiful on the computer. See, I'm a student of this whole speaking genre. So I see a lot. See, I don't only see what I do. I'm looking at what everyone else is doing. These are my colleagues, and I want to know what my colleagues are doing, the ones I know and the ones I don't know, because I'm a student of the speaking industry. I'm a student of education, which is the genre in which I speak. So I'm saying I see websites that look fabulous on a computer. And then I look at the same website in some cases, I'm not going to say all the time, but in some cases, that same website on a device, such as a phone. And I said to myself, uh-oh, they didn't ensure that the web designer made the website mobile compatible. Or I'll see it on a tablet and say, uh-oh, they didn't ensure that the website is mobile compatible relative to a tablet. So now things are cut off, margins are cut off, images are cut off, fonts are looking weird, or small or too large or whatever it is, because there's no compatibility between the website on the computer and the website on the mobile device or the tablet. So as you design this website, your representation of you, your information platform that tells the world who you are as a presenter, what you have to offer as a presenter, everything that you want the world to know about who you are as a speaker. It matters. You've got to make sure that whatever device that they look at you on is representing you the way that you want to be represented. I cannot overstate that. It is vitally important. So again, your website design, it needs to be modern, and it needs to be mobile compatible. I got some more things to say about the website because it's your representation. It's such an important component of your work. So next I'll say this. You got to have a website. I meet speakers, people who speak for a living, they speak. And I say to them, what's your web address? I don't have a website, or it's still being developed, right? Or whatever. And I'm gonna tell you, as a seasoned speaker, 38 years in the business, that's unacceptable. You can't be a speaker and you have no website. You have to have a website, and that website's got to look good. And that website is a representation of you and your speaking business. So if you don't have a website, stop speaking for a little while and put your priority on that website. Get that website developed, get it up and running, and make sure that it's compatible with all devices, all browsers. That's another thing. It can't be good on Chrome, but not work on Safari, right? Firefox, whatever. So so if you have a web designer, you want to make sure that that web designer is a professional at the highest levels, and they're going to ensure that your site works wherever it is seen. That's important. So then we move on. The home page. That home page, that's the attention grabber. That's the one that's there's got to be a splash when they see that home page. Like, oh, see, nice picture of you, high resolution. And it should be you speaking, right? Could be full body, could be half body, whatever, right? But a picture that shows you in action. That's your action shot. So that's got to be prominent. And again, high resolution. You got some old some picture that doesn't represent you right, and it's low resolution, and it's just not an attractive picture. You don't want to use that. Wait until you get a good one. Don't launch that website with a substandard picture of you on the homepage. The homepage is going to determine if people explore that website. That homepage has to have splash to it, right? So it's got your picture, it's got your name prominently displayed, and then it's got a nice short passage that gives a short overview of what this website is about, meaning what you're about. It's not telling the whole story. That's not what that homepage is for. It's just giving them a little something that says, "Oh, this is who you are." Gives an idea of what your brand is as a speaker. But it's got to make that splash, man. It's got to be like when they see it, oh yeah, bam, that's a sight, right? And then so you have that there. Now the rest I'll be subjective because it's everybody's site's gonna be different. They're all different. There's no standard website. But I am saying there's got to be your name's got to be prominently displayed. Your that big photo of you has got to be there. It takes up the width, the whole width there up top, right? Like a banner. And then that description of who you are, what that website's about, which is who you are. And then underneath, we leave that to you, but you don't want to bombard the people. So for me, underneath, I'll have, if I have a new book out, then I'll have that new book prominently displayed right there under that description because I want people to see that immediately that I've got the new book. Then underneath that, if I got something really big going on, and I do, my live stream, which is called the AP and New Principles Academy, that I stream live every Saturday morning at 10:55 Eastern time on all my platforms, including the one you're watching this video on YouTube. So I want to make sure that anything that I've really got big going on, that's prominently displayed on that home page. And that's outside of the speaking itself. That's the biggest thing that I do every Saturday morning for as of today's date, which is February, it's just turned February 3rd, just struck midnight. So February 3rd, 2024. As of this date, 196 sessions. In fact, in the morning, because it'll be Saturday morning, it'll be 197. So that's 4 years. That's 197 consecutive live streams. That's big for me. So I make sure that that's displayed prominently on my home page. I want people to see that when they go to the home page. Then underneath that, I have what I call principal Kafele announcements, and that's just whatever information I want the public to know when they go on my page, right? So a lot of times it'll have all my summer conference dates because that's the times that people that can come to public events and hear me speak as opposed to when I'm doing private events such as school district schools and all that kind of thing. So that way, people that want to hear Principal Kafele, now they can go to the public announcements and, for example, they'll see my summer schedule, right? So they can, and with a link so that they can register for it. And then I'll see them in the summer. So and then at the bottom, the very bottom, no, then I have my YouTube channels on the bottom of the website, right? So my 4 YouTube channels, which we're gonna get into that later, and then my contact information, right? So that's all there, including my website, my social media links, all that's there at the bottom, and that's it. So it's not a whole lot on that home page, just those things that I want people to be able to see right there. But let me say this to you about that. There's some websites, your newer websites, there'll be just one page, a home page, but there'll be links up top or tabs, and you press the tab, and then it will scroll itself down to that area. That's fine too. But when you start adding like just a super, super long home page and people have to scroll, like keep scrolling and scrolling, you're going to lose people because it's too much scrolling. So if that's the case, then you need additional pages. If it's not a whole lot that you have on your page, but just enough that the public needs to read to understand who you are, to know what you speak about, how to contact you, how to get your books and your product in terms of buying. If it's not too much on one page, then a lot of the newer sites, that's what it is. But if it's like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, it's too much. Even though you have tabs at the top, which will take you to where you want to be. My suggestion, again, I'm being subjective, is to have more than one page, to have multiple pages. So just to give you a sense, because again, there's no right way, and certainly this is not a seminar, and it's also not me being objective. It's just me letting you know a little bit about me. So I have after that a bio page, my biography, and that biography is concise. I've done a lot, so I've got everything in there that a client needs to read because I'm trying to be booked as a speaker. So I need them to see that I have credibility. I need them to see that I've been doing some things, but I also need them to see my longevity, and I need them to see my diversity. right? So that I've done a few things, right? So I want all that to come across, to come through in the bio. And then there's my picture next to it, my headshot, which I use an action shot as a headshot, but it's a good picture that kind of blends action and headshot with a dark background. I do it kind of different from most people because I like to be kind of different. That's just who I am. I want to distinguish myself from the pack, so I use a picture that's a little bit different from the norm, and I'm good with that, right? But let me say this before I go any further: your grammar. Between that opening paragraph on the homepage and anything else that's written on the homepage and in your bio, that might have to be written by a professional, right? Because see, your website again is your representation. And if you've got grammar issues, punctuation issues, right? It's people are going to see that and they're going to make a judgment about you. And it may cost you business because if you can't write your own bio, if your own bio is not presented error free, bunch of grammatical errors, why do they want to bring you in to speak to their audience? You're not someone that cared enough that the grammar in your website was flawless. So if you're not someone that cared enough that your grammar was flawless, why do I want to bring you to talk to my staff, and why do I want to pay you all this money to do it? My staff or my department or my organization, my company, whatever it is, because I know that there's many different genres of people who will watch this video. So I'm saying to you, you've got to make sure that page, that website is error free, flawless. That's important. That's non-negotiable. Don't give me no excuses. If you can't do it, then you get somebody who can. But you can't have no errors on that website. So that bio tells your story. So if you're not one who can write your story in a way that's compelling, then you get somebody else to write it. Because your story needs to be compelling, not just a list of items and facts about you, but it tells a story about you. Like it draws people in, like, oh, I want to hear that. I want to read that. I want to read it as if I can hear it, right? You want those words to come to life and see you in your element, the books you wrote, the awards you attained, right? The whatever you did. It's got to be compelling. And if you're not a writer, maybe you're not the one to write that. Maybe you hire a professional who can bring your story to life. That matters. That matters. That's your bio. Next, I have another page. These are my services, my workshops, and my keynotes. And I break those up into genres. So my leadership workshops, then my classroom teacher workshops, right? And my workshop titles and my keynote titles are the same. So I can use the same title and description for both, but the client knowing through when they read the site that I can do it as either a keynote or a workshop, a half day workshop, full day workshop, few hours workshop, whatever they want. But the information is right there. So I got the school leadership up top, then the classroom teacher, and then I've got other keynotes, which is just a variety of different people I may talk to, different categories and genres of presentations that I have that are beyond my core work, which would be the leadership workshops and keynotes and the classroom teacher workshops and keynotes, right? So that's broken down. It's got the title and the description. So that way I don't need people looking at a list of topics and then calling me, asking me, can you tell me a little bit about this topic, a little bit about that topic? I don't have to do that because I have a well-written description for each of the topics. So now they see what that workshop is, they see what that keynote is. And now when we have the conversation, we can just go in depth in terms of how I'm going to address the audience, as opposed to them asking me, what is it? I don't want them calling me asking me, what is it? I want them to get that on the website. And then I'll go deeper in the conversation. So your services have to be laid out. Don't make the mistake of just putting a list of topics. Put some descriptions there. When you speak at a conference, you're required to write descriptions, such as when you send a proposal in, like as I talked about in the previous video, you're required to write a description. So on your website, you want a description as well. So make sure that that's there. Next, I have how to book me. So it's a page that just tells them what to do. Some people use a template and they ask for various different information, such as the date of the proposed program, how many people will be there, all sorts of information that's pertinent to a speaker. I'm old school. I just tell them, you like to have Principal Kafele come through? Send me an email invite just saying I'd like for you to come through and I'd like you to speak on this particular topic. And then we'll take it from there. We'll take it from there. Old school. So whether you be old school, new school, it doesn't matter. Just make sure that you have on your website how to get in touch with you. What are the proper procedures to reach out to you to ultimately book you for an event? The store. You may have merchandise, right? You may have product. So if you have merchandise, if you have product to sell, so books, shirts, hats, whatever, bags, right? Whatever it is, make sure that you have a page for that or a section for that if you're using one of the longer where it's just the one page website with the tabs to take you to scroll you through the page. Make sure you have that there. And then you have to decide how that's going to be set up. I use a web designer. I'm not going to drop names on here, business, because I'm just, they're not paying me to do that, so I'm not going to do it. I use a web designer. And in order for me to sell, e-commerce on the website, then it costs money, right? In order to set it up where they can just purchase directly off of the website. I don't want to pay the extra money. That's just me. So instead, I have my product, which is the only product I sell on my website is books. So I have my product linked to Amazon, right? Linked to Amazon and my publisher, ASCD. So if they want to order the books, they can order from the publisher or they can order from Amazon. I'll tell you a little bit about why Amazon in a little while. I don't want to go out of sequence, but there's a reason that I use them. But we'll talk about that. So that's my store. And then lastly, I have links to my blog post, my articles that are in professional journals, my social media, and contact information. Right. So I've got links to all that, like the link so you don't have to write my website, just click the link. I mean, not the website, the email address, just click the link and it'll take you right to Outlook. Right. So again, I have a blog page. So instead of people going to my blog page in a separate site, I got a link there. So you click the link and it takes you to Principal Kafele Writes. That's the blog page. I have a multiplicity of articles I've written over the years for various professional journals. So I've got links to every article that I've posted there. So you don't have to go looking for my articles on Google. You just click the link and there it is. My social media. I don't want people searching on Google to find where I am on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram and LinkedIn. Those are all right on the website. So you just click them. So as a presenter, these are things you have to have in place. Your social media is important, right? And I talked about that in the first video. So go to part one and hear my thoughts and perspectives on your usage of social media. So your social media is important. That too is a representation of you. It's an extension of you. So your website, extension of you, representation of you. Your social media, representation of you, extension of you. So your blog posts, your blog page, as I said, those articles, as I said, your videos, all of that's an extension of you. So make sure that all of that is as close to perfect as possible, right? But as far as the website is concerned, make sure that they are on the website. But now I got this last piece about the website I want to say. Make sure that you don't, get caught up into thinking you're some kind of celebrity and you got all these pictures of yourself all over the site. So you go to home page, like 10 pictures of you. Then you go to the next page, there's another 10. Then you go to the next page, then there's more. And it's just pictures of you galore. That is, and I'm being respectful when I say that is ridiculous and silly at the same time. Right? You don't need all those pictures of you because guess what? Nobody cares. Nobody cares about all your pictures of you. Maybe your partner, your spouse, maybe, but even them, they may not care either. Your children definitely don't care. They don't care about that. Here's my recommendation. I told you I'm subjective on this. You got that homepage picture, so that's one. You got your picture by your bio, that's two. And then for me, that's essentially it. But there's one more, but it's not really picture oriented. Each of my pages has a banner, and the banner has the title of the page. So, like if it's the workshops keynotes page, that's what the banner says. If it's the shop page where you purchase my product, that's what it says. If it's the bio page, then it says bio in the banner. But in the banner, instead of some design, it's a picture of me speaking, but they're all the same picture. It's the back of me. So you see my back, the back of my head, the back of my legs, and you see the faces of an audience that I'm speaking to. So that and it's kind of it's shaded like grade. So you don't see it in the color that you see this video right now. You just see it's a shaded picture of me, the back of me, and I use that as a banner, and you don't see my face at all, right? So as far as really pictures of me, it would be the banner picture on the home page and the bio picture on the bio page, right? That's all people need. Ain't nobody trying to see a bunch of pictures of me. That's not important. It's not relevant. What's relevant is the content on that website and how it represents you, right? So and how it sells you, because you're trying to grow your speaking business, and that website is your representative. It is an extension of you, your speaking, your business. It matters. So please don't try to build your business and you don't have a website. Right. Please don't try to build your business and you put together some crappy website that looks like, as the young people would say, trash. Right. Make sure that you have a very nice website that represents you well. That's an extension of who you are. That matters. Right. Let's go. Next one. Your YouTube channel. Your YouTube channel. That is very important. When you're if you're going to be a speaker, hear me well. You can't do this business without a YouTube channel. You have got to have a YouTube channel. I did not say loose videos. Now, I didn't say that. I said you got to have a channel with your name on it, either your name or your business, whatever it is. However, people find you best. They're going to find me best depending on, I have 4 channels. So you're looking for Principal Kafele keynotes and all that stuff, then go to Principal Kafele Writes. I'm sorry, Principal Kafele Speaks. If you're looking for my academy, the Assistant Principal and New Principals Academy, AP and New Principals Academy, then that's what it's called. You go there. If you're looking for my videos that are speaking to the young people, message to the youth, message to your son. If you're looking for some old school stuff for me going back to 1990s, then go to Principal Kafele Throwbacks. So I have different titles depending on what people would be looking for when they're looking for me. My feature channel, my main channel, AP and New Principals Academy. Right? So that's the one, that's a big one. It's got over 20,000 subscribers to it. It's a lot of people on there. So, but I put so much into that channel. I don't put a lot into the other channels. It's that channel. That's my main channel. That's the channel that puts me out there. So I'm saying to you, you got to treat your channel the same way. You got to feed that channel. You got to go put water into that channel, right? So to speak. You got to nurture that channel. You got to develop that channel. You got to cultivate that channel, because that channel has the videos that speak to who you are. So you're gonna make sure you got your best stuff on there. Now with me, with that channel, we that's a live stream channel. I told you I got the live stream. We do that every Saturday morning. Once again, 10:55 Eastern time every Saturday morning, right? So that's the live stream. So that's me interviewing people, or that's me going solo like I'm doing right now, and talking to assistant principals, aspiring administrators, new principals, veteran principals, all the way up to superintendent, right? But the core audience being aspiring administrators, assistant principals, and new principals, right? So that channel is my representative in that work. And if people see that, they like it, then there's a high probability that they'll want more. And that's when the invitation comes. See, they watch the live stream on Saturday, and now it's like, oh, we I want them for a longer period of time. We want them for a whole day, right? We want them for a half day, or we want them for a keynote address, or we want them for a convocation address, whatever it is. But that YouTube channel has got to sell you, right? It's got to sell you. So I was talking about the website before. So let me now talk about the YouTube as it relates to the website. I have my 4 channels on my website. So it's a link with thumbnails, large thumbnails. So the thumbnail is one video representing each channel. So each channel has one video thumbnail representing it. So the visitor to the website can click the link and watch that particular video, or they can click the channel link and get the whole channel. That matters, right? That absolutely matters. But here's the thing. Because see, I don't want them necessarily trying to find me on YouTube. It's easy to find me on YouTube, but I also want them to be able to locate me on principalkafele.com, my website. But here's the thing. Let's go deeper with the YouTube channel. That YouTube channel, man, that's like bread and butter. That's important. I'm not going to say that you need 4 like me. One should suffice. But if you're finding that you're doing some diverse things, and you may need 2, because everything may not be for that channel. Like for example, my Principal Kafele Speaks channel. That AP and New Principals Academy content is not for that. Those are 2 different worlds. My Message to Your Son, Message to the Youth channel, those are for young people. That's not for my other channels. My Throwback channel, those old videos, 1993. I'm skinny, got hair on my head. I'm holding on to the podium for dear life, right? So because I'm just learning how to really do this speaking thing. That's not for that highly professional AP and New Principals Academy channel. See, so I had to come up with different channels for the different work that I do. But that AP and New Principals Academy channel, that's my main channel. Like I said before, 20,000 plus subscribers to the channel. There's a lot of people on there. So you have to develop a channel, and that takes time. It takes time to generate traffic to a channel. That's not going to happen overnight, but you got to be consistent with it. Even if you're putting up videos and only 1 person watched it, 2 people watched it, 3 people watched, whatever. That's not the time to become discouraged and frustrated and, oh, I'm not going to do this anymore. No, you keep on generating those new videos, because one of the things with your YouTube channel, you got to stay consistent. Right, you gotta constantly put new material on that video. Nobody wants to keep going to your channel and watching your old stuff. They want to see some new material. So you've got to be consistent with putting new videos on your channel, even if you're not getting the views. They will come if you are marketing your channel correctly. If you're telling your social media groups that or followers and friends that you have a channel, and check it out. You got to remind them. You got to tell them. Then as you continue to build your business and you're speaking to audiences, you got to tell them, I have a YouTube channel and I'd like you to visit. You can tell them that, because you're not selling. Some people don't want you to sell. Some of the clients, they don't want you to sell. Well, you're not selling. You're just saying, visit my channel, right? But you got to tell them. That's a part of salesmanship. But sometimes salesmanship is how you influence, but it's other times it's how you tell people to make the deal with you, right? So in this case, you're telling people to visit your channel. You're on your social media platforms. I hope you have more than one. I hope you're on all the major platforms, and you're putting out ongoing content, as I talked about in part 1, right, of this series. So, and you're telling people. You're reminding people from time to time. You're not bombarding them every day or every week, but you are strategically placing your YouTube channel on your social media platforms to remind people, or the new people who are following you, because it's always new people following you, letting them know, oh, I got a YouTube channel. Check this out, right? And then again, that represents you, and it's an extension of who you are. So that's very, very important, your YouTube channel. Right. Let's go to the next one. Now, matter of fact, let me stay there. Let me stay there for a minute. Um, I want to emphasize one last thing with that YouTube channel, and that is the quality of the videos. Right. Those videos got to be good quality, because see, you put on bad quality, poor quality, again, that's a representation of you. You want it so people filming you and all that, you got to be mindful of what you post. You want your best stuff on there. I have no videos on YouTube that I'm ashamed of. Now, I have a few phone videos on there, but the reason I have them on there is because of the content itself. I want them to see that particular content. These are like 1 minute videos, right? So that, so check that out. Check my site out so you can see how I have that set up at principal at AP and New Principals Academy. But the other thing I want to say about that, YouTube has shorts. You know what shorts are. Those are those short 60-second videos. I've added that to my repertoire recently for 2024, whereas I call it my midweek fire. So I do the Saturday Academy, which those can be long. They're 90 minutes to 2 hours, where we're giving this free information on helping APs and principals to become better at what they do. That's the purpose of it. But then these jobs are not easy. These folks are in these schools, and these schools, there's a lot of work to be done. So I said, let me give them just 60 seconds of fire every Wednesday. So every Wednesday, I record a YouTube short, 60 seconds of some topic, but it's meant to be motivational. And it's just fire, just something to fire up folks. So you may want to take advantage of the shorts, and those are posted on my channel, on the AP and New Principals Academy channel as well. Right. So you can go to the channel and check those out just to get an idea of what I mean. All right, let's move on. Data analysis. This is a big one, very big one. Data analysis. When I say data analysis, I'm saying, let me give you the backdrop. As a principal, I was a numbers guy. I'm studying data every day, all day. I'm studying attendance data. I'm studying discipline data. I'm studying most importantly academic data, but other data streams. It's just everything is numbers. So there's data with everything in existence in a school. So I'm studying that because it's going to drive the decisions that I make. Right? I'm not just making emotional decisions. I'm making data-driven decisions. That matters. Well, in this world of public speaking, data is everything, right? So there's a lot of things that you need to analyze, and I want to give you a few things here. Number one, your website. See, my website is hooked up or connected to Google Analytics, and I need that data. See, I'm hooked up to Google Analytics because I want to know how many people visited my website the day before, because what it does, it gives you new data every 24 hours. I want to know who was on my website the day before. I want to know what states were represented on my website the day before. And then within those states, I want to know what cities were represented on my website the day before. But I also want to know what countries were represented on my website the day before. You see where I'm going with this? See all that kind of data. So if I'm finding a pattern, let's say, man, I'm strong. Like I'm from Jersey. I'm in Jersey right now. So let's say I'm strong in Jersey. I'm strong in New York City, man. People always on the site, let's say hypothetically, in my local area, New Jersey, New York City, Philadelphia, right? But then I find I'm getting weaker. Let's say I'm weak in Chicago. I'm just hypothetically. Let's say I'm weak in California. I'm not getting nobody's on my site from Illinois, right? No one on my site from California. No one on my site from New Mexico, right? I'm just random, I'm not saying that that's my situation. I said, okay, well, I gotta start targeting those states, in terms of just things I do, things I'm putting out there for the world. If I meet people from those states and letting them know that I haven't been there in a while, just different ways. And and again, I'm being subjective, and I'm not going to get into all that specificity because that's a whole workshop in and of itself. But I just want you to get the perimeter of it, that you have got to study the data to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are, right? Where your strengths are and where your deficiencies are, right? So having Google Analytics is telling me where I'm strong in terms of website traffic and where I'm deficient. And thereby it's telling me what I need to do to improve that, to fix that. Right. But it's also telling, I mean, it's telling me so much. I'm just giving you a little bit. For those of you who are unfamiliar with it, it's telling me the volume of new users that I have versus people who are coming back, right? Repeat visitors. All that kind of information is there, right? So again, I told you internationally, I know every country that's represented on my website as far as website traffic. I need to know that. I need to know if they're watching me in South Africa. I need to know if they're watching me in Kenya. I need to know if they're watching me in England. I need to know if they're watching me in Saudi Arabia, right? I need to know if they're watching me in the Philippines, right? I need to know if and I'm saying watching me. I need to know if they're visiting the website. We'll get to that watching me in a minute, but the website, I need to know that. That's information. That's data. See, this speaking business, not just you've got oratorical skill, and now you're going to get up on a platform and speak. No, because they don't know you. They don't know who you are. They don't even know you were born. You first, so you have the skill, develop the skill. That's your craft, but you also got to know how to get out here in the world. That's your data. That's first and foremost your website. Secondly, it's your videos, your YouTube channel. So I'm saying here, you have to look at your data. So I wake up in the morning and I go to my Google Analytics data and see what was the traffic like on my website every day. I know it's people out here that don't do that. They don't know who's on their website. They may have nobody on their website and they don't know it. They're assuming people are visiting that website every day, and it might not be anybody on there. That matters. Secondly, I wake up in the morning and I check my blog posts, my blog site data. Anybody read my blog posts? Which ones? Which ones are generating the most traffic? Which genre? Is it the stuff I'm writing about assistant principals? Is it the information I'm writing about equity? Is it the information I'm writing about principles? Is it the information, whatever, right? What are they reading? What about the latest video, the latest blog post? Are they reading that? Right? What is it about the one that went viral? Why did it go viral? Right? And what is it about that one that so many people had an interest in, but not the others, right? Because one of those went viral, right? So what was it about that one? Now I happen to know what it was, and I knew how to make whatever shifts, adjustments, or pivots I needed to make in order for others to generate the same kind of traffic, right? Or at least comparable traffic. So I'm saying to you, I'm not just writing and then close shop. I'm looking at the data every day and I'm breaking it down. I'm dissecting it. I'm analyzing it. That's what I'm saying to you and you and you. You've got to analyze your data as it relates, in this case, to your blog post, your blog page, right? And if you don't have a blog page, by the way, then you're making a mistake. I said that in video number one. You have to write. It's not just about speaking. You have to write. And again, if you're one that just, for whatever the reason, you just can't write, I mean, you got the content up here, but you can't, it doesn't translate, right? Then you get someone else to write it. But you got to write. You can't have longevity in this business as a speaker and you're not writing. You have to write. Blog posts, articles in professional journals. Those are important. I write a blog post every Sunday on my AP and New Principles Academy Facebook page, not just my blog page. I don't write on my blog page every week, but my AP and New Principles Academy Facebook page, that's every Sunday, unless I need a mental health day. Every Sunday, I'm writing a commentary, which we can put in the category of blog post, right? So, and then Facebook on those professional pages has data, has a data page. So I analyze that data to see what does the traffic look like for my Sunday morning commentary, not just the likes. That's not telling you anything, because people can go in and read the post and not like it because that's an extra step. They'll just go in and read it. So with that data, page, that analysis page that Facebook has for the professional pages, not the personal page, but the professional pages, they break that data down, impressions, etc., so that I know what kind of traffic that I had on my professional Facebook page, which is once again AP and New Principles Academy on Facebook. So I'm analyzing that data. My videos, like I talked about the channel before, but now the videos themselves, I'm analyzing that data. You know how they took on YouTube, they took away the dislike, like the buttons there, but you can't see the dislikes anymore, which is a good move they made. Because you got bad people, mean people, evil people who just like to dislike things just because they can, right? Or because they don't like a certain person, so they want to undermine their work, whether it be their books, their videos, whatever it is. I live that. That's just a part of my life, right? So, but I've learned to live with it. It's like, okay, it is what it is. Why stress over it, right? So, but what YouTube has done, you can see the dislikes in terms of your back channel, right? So you go into the back channel, for lack of a better word, and they break all that down for you. So you'll see the percentage of people who disliked your video, right? I don't know much that I can do with that, because I don't know if it's people who genuinely disliked it versus someone that just doesn't like me, or somebody out there that just is mean and does mean things. Mean people do mean things, so they'll just go on there. Let me just dislike this so I can adversely impact his data. Right? Those people are out there. I have them in my life. Right? Now, I don't mean in my personal space. They're just you know. I guess I'm somewhat of a public figure, so when you're a public figure, people like to mess with you, right? So it is what it is. You deal with it, right? Or just ignore it, and that's pretty much what I do. So, but again, the data analysis of each video. I mean, YouTube, they tell you, and again, you need to have a channel, but then YouTube will tell you the number of people who looked at your channel, right? The number of people who looked at your channel over the past 28 days, so the past almost month. Or you can expand it to larger numbers all the way up to the past 365 days. So you have control over that. So that way you can determine when is my peak season? When am I really strong on YouTube? When is my weak season, right? When do I have very few viewers, right? When am I kind of skating, kind of floating, right? All of that's in YouTube, right? You can click the button on your homepage on the channel and get all that information, right? So and then there's another button you click in terms of how you customize the channel, and you can customize your channel to make it really neat, make it really look good, make it really pop, right? You want that thing to pop, just like you want that splash when people go on it. So you want your website to pop, but you want your YouTube channel to pop as well. I know my website pops. I don't have all the glitz, the flash. I don't want all the bells and whistles. I don't want all that stuff, because I don't want to detract from me, right? I want it to be about what I do. I don't want people to get caught up in, oh my God, look, the page does flips, right? I don't need all that mess, man. I just want a page that pops when you see it. I want my YouTube channel to pop when you see it, and I believe that it does, right? I'm not too glitzy with it. I don't have the fancy thumbnails that the entertainers and the athletes use. I don't need that. I just use the customary the ones that YouTube provides on the video. You select one out of the three, that type of thing. I don't know. I don't need all that bells and whistles and glitz and glam. I don't need that. I just need something that looks really good. You decide you want to go that way. I'm not mad at you. You can do it. I just don't feel I need it. Right. So we're talking about your data analysis, your books. Let's say you wrote a book. I told you I was going to tell you about Amazon. Now I'm here. So let me tell you about that. The reason I like to steer people to Amazon is because Amazon keeps rankings. They've got the ranking in terms of overall, and then they've got rankings by category. Most of my books are in that education administration category. So I'm able to go to my data in the morning and see how my book is ranked, or anytime during the day, actually, because I don't just do it in the morning. So I want to see, are any of my books in the top 100 under education administration? And it's really kind of strange to me, the volume of people that, like, I'll post on my pages, my social media. I'll say, my assistant principal 50 is ranked number 2 or number 3 on Amazon. It ain't been number 1 in a while, but it's been 2 and 3. And so I'll post that. I'll actually cut and paste the ranking and put it on my page, right? I'll screenshot it, I should say, and put it on my page. Then I'll put the other books. So any given week, I could have 5 books in the top 100 on Amazon, right? And people will write me and say, how are you getting this information? I'm like, are you serious? Aren't you an author? You don't know this? It's on your Amazon page. All authors have their own page on Amazon. So if you're someone out there and you have the same question, all authors have their own page. I'll say it one more time. All authors have their own Amazon page, right? It's there. So it's got all your information. Whatever you put on it, your promos that other people wrote, endorsements, your when the book was published, how many pages is in the book, how much it costs, all that stuff. But the most important are the rankings. So what's your book ranked overall on Amazon? And they got like 3 million books, right? So what's your book ranked? But the most important stat is the one with the categories. So what's your book ranked in the category of that book? So I look at administration, and a lot of times I got 5 books in that administration. Sometimes I got 4, sometimes 3, sometimes none. And when that happens, now this data analysis becomes relevant. So, okay, wow, my book was ranked number 2 for 3 consecutive weeks, whatever. Number 3, number 5, number 10, number 15. Those are all good numbers. Amazon has over 3 million books. So if I'm ranked number 3, number 5, number 15, number 100, I ain't mad, right? Within the category. So, but if it's falling, then that's saying to me, all right, Kafele, you got to market better now. Your book's not selling the way they were last week. Your book's not selling the way they were a month ago, whatever it is. That's why I like the Amazon site, because it gives me a sense of how well the book is selling on Amazon, not how well it's selling overall, but at least on Amazon, it gives me somewhat of a representative sample of everything else. Because my books are sold in a lot of different places, but those other places don't have those rankings. See, Amazon's got those rankings. So I appreciate that and I use it, and that's part of my data analysis. So guess what, y'all? I just told you I do data analysis with the website, the blog page, the videos, the channel, and the books. That's a little time. That means I got to get up a little early. I'm a business. As a man, I'm Baruti Kafele. But as a business, I'm Principal Kafele. Principal Kafele Consulting LLC. I can't be the owner of a business and I'm not studying the trends, the data, the information. That makes me a poor businessman, poor businessman, poor business person, right? As a business person, I have to be on top of the data. Said differently, I got to own the data. This is the second video. I made another video today, earlier. But between videos, I'm on YouTube looking at that data. I'm looking at the likes. I'm looking at the views. I'm looking at all that. Talking about the part 1 of this video. I want to see what's happening. That helped me to form, just my thinking, frame my thinking of what this video would be. So I cannot overstate the significance of you studying the data. Let's go to the next one. Who are you? Here's the question. Who are you when you appear at an engagement? And I'm being very deliberate and intentional about this word engagement because I hear people say gig. I'm a speaker. I don't do gigs. I do speaking engagements. Gig makes me think of like some concert, some little set at some little music set somewhere. Like I got a gig tonight. I don't do no gigs. I do speaking engagements. So when you show up at the engagement, I'm asking you this question: Who are you? Who are you? Right? In other words, I'm asking you like, what's your demeanor when you're around the folks? right? Who did they see? Are you friendly? Are you someone to be around, to be with? Like who are you when the people approach you? That you know that matters. Who are you when the people approach you? That matters. And see, for me, man, I am so friendly. Man, I'm probably friendlier than I am when I'm with my friends. I'm because a lot of places I go, and I'm just keeping it real because I'm talking to people who want to get to where I am. It's interesting. There are people at those engagements who are looking forward to being in my presence. I'm not really comfortable admitting that on here. That sounds kind of ego tripping. I get it. It might sound a little cocky to somebody, but I'm on here. I'm trying to train somebody, man. I'm being subjective, but that's I'm not making money off of this. I'm just doing this from the goodness of my heart. So I want to keep it as real as I can, right? And I go places, man, and people are like, "Oh man, Principal Kafele, Principal Kafele, Principal Kafele. Oh my God, I'm glad to meet you." Some people tell me they're nervous, man. Oh man, I'm nervous. Ooh, I see you on videos all the time. I can't believe I'm with you. I'm like, man, I'm nobody. I say to them, I ain't nobody. I ain't nobody, right? But to them, I'm somebody, and that's the point. So I'm not going to go in there standoffish, snooty, stuck up. I'm this, I'm that. I'm not going in there like that. I don't care where I'm at. I'm going in there with supreme humility. That's how I'm going in there. I'm going in there with humility. I'm going in there happy to see the people. I'm going in there happy that there are people that want to hear me. Happy that people want to be in my presence. That's how I'm going. See, I see people, man. They big time now, so they are, they don't want to be bothered, man. I see it. I see it. I shake my head. SMH. SMDH. Right. I'm like, man, why you like that, man? You see these people excited to see you? They ain't never gonna see a celebrity. Most of us will never gonna meet a celebrity. You the closest thing to a celebrity. Why don't you act like it? You an author. You got like I'm thinking about people in my head. You got multiple books out here. You an author. You speak all over the place. You've been on television. You've been on radio. You've been doing things. Well, these people see that. So now here you are in the flesh, and you acting like you bigger than you better than them. You almighty. You better stop that mess. Those of you watching, don't go in there with that. You'll never last. Man, I go in there so humble, man. And let me give you this other part. I sign every book. Sometimes them clients buy 500 books, man. I sign. They say, I know you don't want to sign them all. Could you just sign as many as you can? I say, I'm signing all these books. Or there'll be a line of people like wrapped around the place, man. I don't mean 10 people. I'm talking about 100 people in a line. I sign every one of them books and take the selfie. That's what I do, man. Because I know if you're going to stand in some line wrapped around the corner, for me, I ain't nobody. Me? Guess what? I'm staying there to take all them pictures and to sign all them books. Yeah. And I ain't putting on a show. I'm not acting. That's who I am. I know I'm just bringing the authentic me. And therefore, the authentic me is feeling blessed. If folks want to stand in some long, hour long, I remember, man, I've done conferences, the lines were 3 hours long. I didn't say 1 hour, I didn't say 2 hours, 3 hours long. And I stayed and signed all them books. I stayed and took all those pictures. You call the people in San Diego at the counselors conference. I told the people that I had a flight that after the breakout, did the keynote, then the breakout. After the breakout, I got to jet out of there and make this flight. I signed one book and took a picture, and someone saw me do it, and they said, "Can I get a picture and an autograph too?" Yeah, no problem. Somebody saw that. Can I get one too? We walking out, the client trying to whisk me out of there. Can I get one too, Kafele? Well, someone else saw that. Can me too? And I'm signing. I'm taking the picture. Them people formed a line. It went out the door. The client said, I know you're not going to sign all these books and take these pictures. You got a flight. I said to the client, I can't leave. But you got a flight. I know. And it's all the way. I was in San Diego. I had to be in Detroit. Last flight out of San Diego I had. It was still daytime. Last flight out late, like flying across the country like that. I said, I can't leave the people, man. I can't. So I stayed until there was nobody else in the room but me and the client. I go to the parking lot, look at the flight schedule. There's nothing. I said, okay, let me check LAX, Los Angeles. There's a red eye to Detroit. A red eye. You know what that means, right? There'll be no hotel stop. There'll be no change of clothes. It's just catch the flight, get off the plane, drive to the venue. I slept on the plane. It's like that sometimes. That's what this speaker life is. We call that hashtag speaker life. And I felt refreshed because the adrenaline was pumping, and I went on and spoke to them folks in Detroit for 6 hours. With the only sleep I got was sitting up straight on an airplane seat. But I felt good about the person in my mirror. There you go, right there. You see him? Let me do that. There you go. See him? I felt good about the person in my mirror because I gave everybody what they were standing in that line for: an autograph and a selfie. That's all they wanted. I ain't leave. I've never abandoned a line, ever. So I'm saying all that to say humility. It matters. Make sure that you're humble when you walk into these engagements. But here's the other part to that. We'll call this number 7. Who are you in public? Forget the engagement now. Who are you when you in public? Guess what? News flash. As your business grows, as you become that much more popular and known in the world, people gonna recognize you when you don't recognize them. There's a lot of places I go and I hear Principal Kafele. Airports, stores, malls, vacations in foreign countries, restaurants. If I didn't say that already, I guess I did. Principal Kafele. Can I get a picture? Yeah. I can't be like, nah, I'm not working right now. Nah, I smile, handshake, embrace, glad to meet you. What's your name? What do you do? Right? Man, them people, I mean, I'm minding my business. If somebody walk up on me, man, I'm giving them love, brother. Baby, I'm giving them love. That's how I'm doing that. Who are you? Me and my wife in Nassau, man. Principal Kafele. Can I get a picture? Yeah. Yeah. See, so when you in this business I'm in, you on call 24/7, man. You don't know. So therefore, your guard, you can't never drop your guard. You can't allow people to see you doing things that you got no business doing. You public speaker now. You can't allow yourself to be in compromising situations. You public speaker now. Your life shifted. You ain't no off switch. It might be off from the work, but it ain't no off from who you are. You might see yourself, like I'm gonna use my name as an example. You might see yourself as Baruti Kafele, but the world see you as Principal Kafele. See, the world don't see Baruti. Most people don't even know that's my name unless they got my books. They know Principal. People call me like they don't even say Kafele. So many people, hey, Principal, right? So I know they talking to me because I hear that all the time. You can't, I can't shut that down. I go out. Right now. It's 1:19 a.m. I'm up late doing this video, and I still got to do my Saturday Academy AP New Principals Academy in the morning, man. right? I'm up late, man. I can go outside right now. I got to keep my guard up. I ain't going out. They say nothing good happens after midnight. So I'm staying right here. But I'm saying to you, you can go outside. You got to keep that guard up because you don't know who gonna recognize you, and you got to make sure that if they see you, that you ain't. Oh my god, I gotta fix myself. No, no, they see you. Hey, how you doing? Because you ready. You stay ready, so you don't have to get ready. Don't you forget that. You stay now. Stay ready for what? You stay ready for someone that admires your work, so that you don't have to get ready. I don't care where you are. I don't care where you are on the planet Earth. Stay ready for someone to recognize you so you don't have to get ready and be embarrassed. We call that one, we call that one number 7. Number 8. And I can number 8, 9, and 10. These are quick, man. I'm gonna be done with this in a minute. These are the proverbial minute. I'm gonna be done with these quickly. Let me tell y'all something, man. This is not basketball. It's not football. It's not baseball. It's not hockey. It's not tennis. It's not golf. It's not pickleball. I don't even know how to play that. But everybody talking about it, right? This is public speaking. And if you're an education speaker, you're doing this in order to effectuate the lives of children via the adults in the building, teachers, administrators, counselors, etc. Here's why I say that. We're not sports. We are not in competition with one another. I see some of my colleagues, they competing. I look, man, I'm like, competing? You mean to tell me I'm your competition? You competing with him, with her, with him, with her? Man, you in the wrong business. You need to get into something else. I ain't competing with nobody. I'm not competing with anybody. Well, I'm lying. I am competing with one person. Let me show him to you. Let me see if we can get this right again. There you go. There you go. See that guy in my mirror right there? That's who I'm competing with. Him. That's it. Nobody else, just him. That's me. Hey, you, somebody out there. You, these other speakers, a lot of them too. Ain't none of them your competition. Don't look at them and say, I'm going to be better than them. I'm going to have more clients than them. I'm going to excite the crowd better than them, than they do. It's going to be more people in my room than them. I've heard people say that. I laugh, man. I'm laughing now. Y'all see me, man. You because like what's the rationale? Okay, you got more people in the room. How'd that make the world better? You would come. I I've heard it. I've seen it written. I'm going hard. They gonna gravitate to me. Some of them folks, they probably see this video. They're like, man, Kafele ain't right, man. I don't like it because he talking about me. If you said it around me, you dang on right. I'm talking about you. This ain't no competition, man. I ain't your competition. Me or anybody else. I just wake up in the morning. Watch this, y'all. I'm almost done. I just wake up in the morning and go hard on my work. And then I put my head on the pillow and go to sleep. I wake up the next morning, of course, I skip some things, right? But you get the picture. I wake up in the morning and go hard on my work. And whoever's in competition with me, I ain't thinking about you. I ain't thinking about you. I ain't thinking about you. You ain't on my radar. My competition is right. There you go. Look at him. I'm trying to get better, man. That's all. Better than me. Not better than you. Not better than you. And not better than you watching this video. Because some of them folks in competition with me, they know they gonna find out I made this video. They might watch this to see what I'm saying. Right. like like that comedian. I don't want to say no comedians' names because I don't want YouTube to be messing with my video. But that comedian that did them 50, got them 50 million views being interviewed by that football player. like, like when I hear somebody saying they in competition, I laugh like that particular comedian is telling jokes. I just laugh. Then when I see them in person, I'm laughing like, oh man, stop being silly, Kafele. It's almost 1:30 in the morning. I'm sitting up here laughing on a computer, talking to myself, pretending that like I got a live audience, man. I'm bugging, right? Y'all know that slang. That's old school. I'm tripping. Right. Let's go. Number 9, fee integrity. I'm not going to talk about fee. I'm not on a video. That's not happening. Your fee is what the market can bear. That's your fee. What the market can bear. You go and talk to some speakers, and maybe they'll give you some insight. If you see me in person, don't write me because I'm not writing no fee stuff on some social media inbox, and I'm not doing that. You come to some of my conferences over the summer, and we could sit down and chop it up, and I can talk to you a little bit about fee that way. But I'm not don't write me no inbox or an email. And can we talk fee? Nah, because I'm not documenting that. Nah. So you see me at a conference. My summer conference schedule is posted. It's on principalkafele.com. I got it all posted with the links. So you go there, click them links, register, and join me in them cities. I'll talk fee with you there. Right. So that summer, I should say this video gonna be out for years. So the summer of 2024. But I also, I update it every year. So if you see this in 2027, then my summer of 2027 will be posted on principalkafele.com on the homepage. Right. But fee integrity, whatever you come up with as your fee, that's got to be your fee. You can't have a certain fee with one client, but then you find out this client's got a pot of money. Oh, they got big money. I'm going to double it for them. I'm this amount here, but that's not what you charge the other one. Let me let you in on a secret. The clients talk. Yeah, they do. They talk. They talk to each other. So if you get caught out there and it turns out that you charge this client this amount, but this client double the amount, triple the amount, or percentage amount different, higher, they're gonna find out. And then your integrity is questioned. See, your integrity is questioned. Your ethics are questioned. You got to have fee integrity, a standard fee, right? However, you'll have a fee schedule. So when a client reaches out to you, remember I told you about the description and the topic and all that. So you don't have to deal with all that. If you're ready to discuss fee, some people are not ready to talk fee yet. They want to endear themselves more to a client to get that client really wanting to work with this person, and then they'll get to fee. That's all according to how you strategize. In my older days, meaning my younger days, but way back, so older days of doing this work, I wouldn't talk fee early. I'm trying to sell me first. And then as I get them to warm up to me, feel endeared to me, then or I'm endearing myself to them, then I feel okay, let me drop the fee on them now. Because I think we made a connection here. But now, I've been in this thing a long time. I'm 38 years in. I've been doing this longer than a whole lot of the people who will watch this video have been alive. So I'll send them the fee schedule as soon as I get the email. So that's a schedule. So therefore, like, I'll have a fee for a half day, a fee for a full day, a fee for a keynote, a fee for a keynote and a breakout, a key for a keynote and two breakouts, a fee for a keynote and three breakouts, a key for booking me for 3 or more dates on one contract. I got all them different fees. But as far as the quantity of time, oh, that's the same. So if I'm a half day in Chicago, I'm a half day in Houston, the same fee. If I'm X amount of dollars as a half day in Minneapolis, it's the same fee as a half day in San Francisco, right? So we ain't gonna mess. We ain't, just because they miles apart. Electronically, they're next door to each other, right? So I'm not gonna play around with that and be unethical and compromise my integrity. So that's important. You got to have fee integrity. And then I told you I got one more, number 10. Your record keeping. That's got to be flawless, right? The IRS is real. They audited me. They didn't find a thing, but they audited me for over a month. It was one of the worst times of my life. And what was the initial contact? It wasn't a phone call. It was a ring of my doorbell right over there. I was out on the road speaking. My wife was here. She called me up. The IRS was here. They want to meet with you. What? So I called the guy. Oh, they want to go through all my stuff, man. IRS is real. But see, my record keeping is superior. My expenses, my revenues is superior. So I had no issues. All my W-9s, I got them all, right? All the nuances in terms of how the IRS codes things. One of the things I had to learn was that commissions and royalties with books. I thought they were synonymous. They're not. I got stung on that. It wasn't because I did something wrong, because it was ignorance. So it made it wrong, but it was just I called it commissions when we coded it in terms of the tax return. But the IRS looked at my book sales as royalties. So they got me on that. So I had to correct that, right? Didn't have to pay a penalty. I just had to correct it. That what did I know? I thought book commissions. That's what the publishers called it, commissions, but they called it royalties, right? So things like that. But they nitpicked that, right? They was all in my stuff, right? So I'm saying to you as I close out, your record keeping, man. You keep every receipt and you log it in. And if you haven't studied what the deductibles are, the deductions I should say are, got health benefits on my mind. The deductions are, you better learn them, because there's a whole lot of stuff, man. Dry cleaners deduction, the new clothes I wear every year, deduction. It's just a lot of stuff, man. It's not just the flight and the lodging and the ground transportation. It's so much that you can deduct, so much you can write off. But if you're not doing your homework, then you don't know that. Now, of course, you're not working independently. Hopefully, you have some type of an accountant, right? Or if you got the accounting down to a science, you at least have a tax accountant. That's what I have, because I got the accounting down, man. I got that down to a science. I don't need nobody for that, right? But so I keep my own records. I keep all them receipts, man. I log everything in, man. I know my money to the penny, including the interest. And then what you doing with your money? You're making money. What you doing with it? What kind of investments? Is your money making money while you sleep, or you got it all in the savings account? Right. So your money got to work for you too. Not just you working. Now let your money work, so that you can make 6 figures just on interest alone. Right? Yeah, I said it. 6 figures on interest alone. Your money got to go to work for you, but you got to invest wisely. So you got to have good people around you for that, who going to help you with that. So there's so much to talk about, but the bottom line is keeping good records, right? So I gave you 10 items, and I'm gonna give you another one, another video later I'm not going to do it right now like I did this one, but I got a part 3 because I want to break down the presentation. I want to talk delivery, right? I want to break all that down because that's important too. You could do everything I had in video 1, video 2. You got that down to a science, but then you get up on the platform and you're not what you need to be, right? So we're gonna talk about some of that whenever. I don't know when I'm gonna do part 3, but I am gonna do it, and then you'll have that information. So again, this was not a seminar. Don't look at it that way. This is a subjective talk from me, Principal Kafele, and just giving you some nuggets. I know that there'll be a lot of my colleagues who will either say to me or they'll be thinking to themselves or having discussions amongst themselves, what in the world is Kafele doing giving all this information out? Because see, as I don't know if I said it in the other video, but I'll say this to you real quick. I know that there are people out there who, if I did a speaker boot camp or a speaker seminar for a weekend, a Saturday and a Sunday, all day, both days, I know that there are people out there who would be willing to pay $1,000 for the weekend, $500 each day. I know that. That would be $100,000 weekend for me if 100 people show up. $100,000 weekend. That's a lot of money. I know I gave you, oh man, just these 2 videos. I gave you probably $1 million worth of game. Easy, easy. This people pay like $1,000 for a speaker boot camp is low. That's inexpensive. I want you to know that. It's people out here, they charge $5,000 for a weekend. They doing 500,000 and $1 million weekends gross. That's what they doing. It's that kind of money out there. But your brother right here, as I close, I ain't looking for it. That's not how I get down. That's not how I roll, y'all. Some of y'all know me. That's not what I do, man. See, I understand my spiritual connection, man. Understand God. God is still in the blessing business. In my life, ain't nothing but a blessing, man. That I could do this work, man. I mean, I'm self-employed. I wake up in the morning and work for Principal Kafele. Principal Kafele Consultant LLC. That's what I'm trying to encourage you to be able to do. God be blessing me, man. As long as I can generate income for myself and put out quality information to help schools to be better, help leaders to be stronger and more effective at what they do. God blessing me. So I don't need to go out here and try to ask people for all this money so I can get this big payday. I don't need it. I'm gonna get the pay. Listen, I'm gonna close on this note. I'm going to get the payday. It's coming, but it's not gonna be in you paying me an admission. It's gonna come different. I don't know how it's gonna come. That's the part I don't know. But when it comes, I'll know. I'll recognize it. That much I know. When it hits me, I'm like, oh, there you go. God just stepped in. Might not be monetary, could be something else. Could be anything. But whatever it is, oh, I'm going to know. I feel blessed just to wake up. I mean, just to be awake right now at 1:38 in the morning and be making this video, man. This matters to me too. It don't just matter to you, it matters to me. But look here, y'all. I spoke now with between the 2 videos, 3.5 hours. 3.5 hours. And didn't ask for a dime. 3.5 hours of content to help you to become a professional speaker. That's it. I'm done. Look here, y'all. As Zig Ziglar always said, I see you in the winner's circle, right? And as I always say, celebrating your victory. Peace.